Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us today for part 3 of our webinar series on transition. Today's webinar will outline the transition process as students move from high school to whatever comes next. I'm Kelly Fontaine. I have a master's in education and I'm a board certified cognitive specialist. I've served as a co-investigator for the Step Up AT project, and I'm the founder of Assistive Technology Consultants and the owner of Learning RX St. John's. I've had more than 20 years of experience identifying and implementing educational strategies and assistive technology solutions for individuals with learning differences and other disabilities. I'm self-employed with Assistive Technology Consultants and also a paid consultant for FAAST. This transition webinar series is possible due to the collaboration between Step Up AT and the Florida Alliance for Assistive Services and Technology. Step Up AT uses online learning modules and practice-based coaching to help parents and teachers utilize assistive technology to increase the participation of young children in early literacy activities at home and at school. The goals of Step Up AT are to improve knowledge of assistive technology, improve confidence, and the beliefs for teachers and parents. They want to increase AT use and inclusive practices at home and in the classroom, and improve early literacy outcomes for children with diverse abilities. Step Up AT is located at the Melman Center for Child Development in Miami, Florida, and their project manager is Christina Sadeth. Our other partner that made this possible is the Florida Alliance for Assistive Services and Technology, and they are a free program funded through the Technology Related Assistance Act of 2004, and every state and territory in the United States has an AT program just like FAAST that is free. So this is certainly a concerning time for us and as it relates to COVID. So we wanted to talk a little bit about the considerations and reopening requirements for schools and how you can go about getting additional information and answers to some of your questions. The Florida Department of Education issued an emergency order on July 6th outlining the goals for schools opening in response to COVID-19. And the order outlines expectations for schools to include in its reopening plan and includes the following. All schools must provide an option for students to attend a brick and mortar or physical space for schools 5 days a week. School districts and charter schools must provide a full array of services, including specialized instruction and services for students with IEPs. And progress monitoring support offered to students not making adequate progress with an opportunity to transition to another teaching method if they fail to make adequate progress. And students with disabilities and English language learners, the IEP teams must use a student-centered approach to identify students' needs and provide the services necessary to ensure the individual needs of the students that are met. Now, while this guidance is great, there are differences in how these requirements for reopening are being implemented county by county throughout Florida. So school reopening options, plans, and implementations of services will look different depending on the county that you live in. If you have specific questions such as, what will the schedule and instruction look like if my child is enrolled in the virtual learning option? Or can my child go to school to receive some services if they enroll in virtual learning? Or how will special education services be provided to my child? You want to go to your school district's webpage or you may Google your school's reopening plan for your county, and you'll be able to find details of the school reopening plan for your county. And often the district website will also have published question and answers from other parents and community members, as well as information regarding school board meetings where you can provide public comment. Today's webinar will highlight the significance of transition planning and when preparing for life after high school. We'll discuss the importance of transition planning and promoting positive school experiences to help students prepare for the future. We'll also explore the transition process, what it looks like, things to think about when considering AT, and how AT can be used to help facilitate a smooth transition from high school to adult life. Finally, participants will learn how to access resources available through FAAST to assist with the transition process. Secondary transition refers to the process a student with a disability goes through as they move from high school to whatever comes next, including post-secondary education, getting a job, or independent living. In Florida, this begins at age 14 or earlier and may not end until age 22 for students with significant disabilities. Successful transition to adult life requires careful planning and a partnership between students, families, schools, school districts, and community agencies. Transition planning may also be referred to as transition services. It's a formal process for helping students with an individual education plan, also called an IEP, figure out what they want to do after high school and how to get there. The purpose of transition planning is to provide a student with the services and supports he or she needs to make a successful move into adult life. Transition planning is intended to make school life relevant to the student's plans for the future. So it's important for students to share their interests and goals after high school to help guide the plan. Once the transition goals are set, the IEP team will determine the services that are needed to achieve the goals. Transition services may include implementation of assistive technology, internships, career counseling, specialized instruction, or other related services such as transportation, therapies, or mental health services. Transition planning involves the student, family, school staff, agency staff, and others identified by the IEP team. In Florida, it takes effect when the student turns 14. It's part of the IEP, it's not a separate plan, and it's reviewed annually until the student exits the school system. All students need guidance in order to make the transition from high school to adult life. However, students with learning differences often need even more help because their needs can be much greater. Transition planning provides a personalized course of action based on the student's strengths, desires, and goals to create a strong foundation for life beyond high school. In order to improve outcomes for students with disabilities, transition service requirements were included in the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act. The transition services requirements of IDEA provide opportunities to help students and families think about the future and consider what they want to do after high school. Plan how to make the high school experience most relevant to the student's desired outcomes, and help students and families make connections to support and services they may need after high school. The law that governs the IEP is the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act. In 2008, Florida rules were changed to better align with this act. Florida Code defines transition as a results-oriented process to improve academic and functional achievement to help facilitate the student's movement from school to post-secondary activities. This code requires that transition services be based on the student's strengths, preferences, and interests, and should include specific services and activities such as community experiences, career education or instruction, and the use of assistive technology to meet IEP goals that will prepare students for adult life. You may notice that the reoccurring theme here is the transition plan is based on the students' interests, goals, and they are very much a part of the transition planning process. The Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act took effect in 2014. To help get Americans employed in high-quality jobs that include youth and those with significant barriers to employment. This act resulted in pre-employment transition services being provided to transition-age students with disabilities by Vocational Rehabilitation's youth program. Pre-employment transition services include career exploration counseling, community-based work experiences, work readiness training, and instruction in self-advocacy and post-secondary education counseling. Transition planning is an ongoing process beginning with the IEP that's in effect when a student turns 14. The student is invited to participate in the meeting to share their interests, goals, and provide feedback. Additional assessments may be used to help the team identify skills and knowledge that may be needed for a student to attain his goals after high school. The team then develops transition goals that are relevant to the student and will prepare the student to achieve his goals for the future. The transition plan is updated annually to reflect progress or changes in a student's interests or goals as they occur throughout high school. The transition IEP team includes all the members of a traditional IEP team. However, it also includes community and agency professionals who may help provide information on how to access needed services such as transportation, employment support, or assistive technology once they graduate. So some key players at the transition IEP team may be people from vocational rehabilitation, someone who's knowledgeable of assistive technology that's been used or that may be needed, someone from transportation services, and of course, members of the school and parents are invited to attend as well. Assistive technology, or AT, is anything used to improve the capabilities of people with disabilities or learning differences. There are many types of assistive technology that range from no technology needed, low tech, or high tech. And we will be giving examples later on in the webinar of how these different types of technology can be used to help people achieve their goals. Assistive technology can assist students in compensating for their disabilities and help in completing tasks that may otherwise have been impossible or extremely difficult to do. When considering AT in transition planning, it's important to have someone knowledgeable of the student's experiences with assistive technology. It's helpful to have a description of any AT that the student currently uses, as well as AT that may be needed in the new educational setting. You also want to identify training needs of team members that'll help successfully implement the assistive technology with the student in each setting, evaluate the effectiveness of the AT and how it will be monitored, and establish a timeline for implementation of one or more assistive technologies. When planning for transition, remember to consider the student's goals for the future. For example, if a student has difficulty completing worksheets at school, what tools are currently being used to allow the student to complete this task with more independence? If there are no tools currently being used, what tool could assist them with completing this task? And can the same tool or strategy be used to complete an application for employment? If the student is participating in a community work experience, what tasks will they likely be doing? And will AT or accommodations be necessary? If so, can this be implemented now to help them gain proficiency in how to use the tool to prepare them for the future? Here's a tool teams can utilize to assist with considering AT for transition. First, you want to think about the student. Consider the student's strengths, areas of need, and goals for the future. What's the environment or routine that the student will be in? When and where will the student need to use the AT or the AT strategy? And what task does the student need to do? Or what are the goals on the IEP? And then what tool or what assistive technology tool or strategy can be used to help the student achieve the goal, increase participation, or be included more in the activity. We want to be sure to discuss the plan for implementation as well. Who's responsible for support and implementation, and when the AT strategy will be used. Who's going to use the assistive technology with the child? How often is the assistive technology going to be used and the strategy implemented? When an AT device is needed by the student in another district, post-secondary institution, state or community agency, employment facility, community living facility, and so on, Florida law requires that the state agencies agree to facilitate a student or parent's written request to transfer or retain use of the AT device. Assistive technology is anything used to improve the capabilities of people with disabilities, as we've discussed. So when students learn to use assistive technology with proficiency, it's more likely they will feel confident using the tool in a new environment. Today, we're going to go through a few examples of assistive technology that can assist with reading, writing, and attention struggles. Flipgrid is a free video response platform where educators can have online discussions with students or other educators. Flipgrid has many accessibility features that make it a great tool for students who struggle with writing, reading, hearing impairments, or vision impairments. This tool helps promote independence and participation in the classroom. Let's check out this video to learn more about how it works. All right, great, thank you. So as you can see, and thank goodness for the subtitles there, Flipgrid's a great resource. Another great tool is Read and Write for Google Chrome. This Chrome extension provides support tools for the web and common file types accessed through Google Drive, including Google Docs, Google Slides, PDFs, and electronic publications. There are two different versions of Read and Write for Google, a free version and a premium version. And the premium version is free for teachers to explore and costs $147 for yearly subscription for student accounts. Let's see the video. Grammarly is an online writing tool that detects grammar and punctuation mistakes and provides real-time suggestions and guidelines on how to correct these mistakes. It also includes a spell checker, readability score, and provides feedback on the tone of your writing. You can add the Grammarly Chrome extension at no cost or pay $11.99 a month for additional features. I'm currently working with 2 college students who struggle with getting their thoughts on paper due to a receptive and expressive language disorder. And they began using Grammarly and have shared that it's helped them organize their thoughts, it makes writing assignments easier, and it's allowed them to complete writing assignments in much less time. One of my trainers also swears by this particular extension, so it is highly recommended if you struggle with getting thoughts on paper or writing. Rewordify.com is a free text leveling tool that allows students with learning and reading struggles to better comprehend more complex material. The free online software works on any computer, tablet, or smartphone, and you can copy and paste any text or website into the yellow box that's shown here, and the text will be simplified. Learning activates such as word banks and comprehension sheets that may be created as well. Let's look at an example. So in the box, it states, I am enraptured by enthralling personages, although methinks thou art irked by the pleonastic pontifications. Dictionaries do not suffice for many people. These sentences are eccentric, non sequiturs. So, in other words, Rewordify breaks it down. I am very interested in fascinating people, although I think you are irritated by their overly wordy, snobby lectures. Dictionaries are not good enough for many people. These sentences are weird, random, unrelated statements. So you can see how it makes it easier for people to understand complicated sentences. Let's talk about built-in accessibility features. So most computers, tablets, and smartphones come with built-in assistive technology features. Accessibility options vary by device. This slide highlights a few iOS features. Text-to-speech technology reads digital text on computers, smartphones, and tablets. Students can choose to have the words highlighted as they're spoken to help them follow along. Dictation is another built-in accessibility feature that may be helpful for students who struggle with fine motor skills. And Safari Reader removes visual clutter when reading an article online, helping some students to maintain focus. And finally, calendar reminders help students stay organized by keeping assignments in one place and the ability to receive reminders before they are due. Watchminder is a simple smart wristwatch that can easily be programmed to set up discrete vibrating reminders throughout the day. Watchminder was designed to help children and adults who need help with maintaining focus, managing their time, and modifying behaviors. Watchminder can be purchased for $69. Another option is Revive Connect. Revive Connect also assists with attention and focus challenges. The adaptive mode uses a learning algorithm to monitor the user's attention patterns and personalize the frequency of vibration reminders. You can also create custom text reminders to have messages appear on Revive's screen throughout the day, such as, remember to bring home your homework, relax, take a deep breath, etc. The cost of Revive Connect is $119.95. So the FAAST Information and Assistance Technology Program is a statewide assistive technology help desk that receives questions from all over Florida about programs, services, and the field of assistive technology. FAAST maintains an updated database of information related to disabilities and available resources. This program provides people with the assistance necessary to make informed decisions with assistive technology. FAAST offers 6 regional demonstration centers throughout Florida that maintain a diverse inventory of assistive technology devices to demonstrate to help individuals make an informed choice. This may be helpful when you're doing transition planning and you want to see options that may be out there too, and get information and referral about different devices that you may be able to try. Step Up AT Device Lending Library offers a variety of AT devices to assist individuals with disabilities, young children with disabilities, and that technology can be borrowed at no cost. So although you may have, you're really thinking about transition is a lifelong process, and so it's good to start considering AT when they're young, and that's a great resource. And the FAAST New Horizon Loan Program is an alternative assistive technology finance program under the Assistive Technology Act of 2004. And the purpose of this program is to assist individuals with disabilities finance assistive technology at reasonable interest rates. So if you are in school, they will typically provide the assistive technology for you. When you transition, you may explore resources such as vocational rehabilitation. There may be, FAAST can provide you with information on other funding sources that may be available to you as well, if you don't want to utilize the loan program. Thank you for your time today.